Doctor,
Yeah.
there's no more we can do for him. I hate to say it, but just let him live the next couple of days and just hope for a miracle.
The doctor understood the circumstances, but he had never been one to leave things to luck.
Look at him coming late to the hospital where we're working our asses off all day. And his cars. Why does he have to get expensive cars to a hospital? Emergency! Emergency! Call Dr. Preston now!
There's no need. What's the problem here? Follow me.
He was surrounded by a full team of medical professionals, composed of a doctor and 2 nurses, one of which acted as a receptionist, being the one who also had called emergency. They ignored his question, simply walking him to the matter of concern instead. They made their way past the everyday medical rooms and through the surgery rooms, until finally, they reached the isolated medical rooms. Throughout his 10 years of practicing medicine, and despite all his experience, even he had only been there twice. The room was big enough to fit any sort of medical equipment that might be needed, but small enough for one to see everything through the small rectangular window.
Doctors and nurses, meet patient 228.
Cut the formalities, please, doctor. We don't have time for this.
Very well. Then meet Maya Chambers, ex-military, 26 years old. A helicopter crash almost killed her, but she managed to survive, saving 2 other members of her team with her.
Impressive, but why is she still here? She seems fine.
That's what I don't understand. It seems that she can't do anything.
That still doesn't explain why she's in isolation.
Viral meningitis, curable infectious disease, but as you can see, she doesn't have the will to move. Nonetheless, take medications.
And how did she get it?
Mere bad luck. It could have been one of many things in that hostile environment. Coughing, sneezing, shared eating utensils. As you know, it's an airborne disease. It could be anything.
That was all he needed to hear. Nathan made his way straight into the room, under the observation of his entire medical team.
Very well. Good evening, Miss Chambers. My name is Nathan Prescott, and I'll be here to assist you in every way possible. I heard of your circumstances, and I've got to say, very impressive.
She remained silent, almost as if incapable of responding. The doctor carried on.
Alright, very well. We are doctors. We try to help as much as we can, despite the patient not wanting to get help. In your specific case, it's unique. And I'm willing to help you in everything, but I'm sorry to say this. If you're not ready to get help or to get treated, I'm not going to waste my time here.
Did they tell you everything?
No, but I would love to hear it.
She went on to tell him how, despite saving 2 of her fellow soldiers, 2 others died. She told him how she felt responsible for their deaths, as she was the team leader. They continued to talk for a while, Nathan learning more about her, and her discovering more about him, surprisingly.
From now on, she's my responsibility.
Nathan would begin to see Mia on a regular basis, and slowly, they would get closer. She would go on to tell him about her life, and how her parents had died while serving when she was still very young, and that compelled her to join into the army. She would tell him about all the suffering she'd seen while serving, all the children with no food or water. She had done something that nobody in his entire life had been able to do. She had humbled him. For the first time in his life, Nathan felt something he never felt before. For the next several weeks, he would come into the hospital with one thing on his mind. He would even on occasion spend whole nights in the hospital with Mia, simply getting to know her. She had started taking her medications religiously. The doctor's habits began to change, as did his attitude. No longer did he bring his most expensive cars to work. His level of arrogance had dropped drastically, and he always seemed open to helping his colleagues. He smiled more and seemed happier. Mia was now allowed to leave her confinement, so he would make an effort in having breakfast in the hospital with her whenever he could, even taking her out on drives to the park, where they would walk from time to time.
Wow. Good evening. Where's Mia?
She was just cleared. She left minutes after you came in. She was tested and apparently she's fine.
Wow. That's actually very great.
Are you okay, doctor?
Yeah, maybe just a little dizzy. I'm alright.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm good. I'm just gonna go to my room.
Check his heartbeat. He's not doing well. I'm afraid it's worse than what you had, and medications won't be enough to help him.
What can I do to help?
What are you willing to do?
Whatever it takes.